On this episode of Southpaw Computing, we're going to be looking at the Kracess Smart Helmet for urban traffic, and that's coming up next. Hey YouTube, Dan from Southpaw Computing, and today we're going to take a look at the Kracess Smart Helmet for urban traffic. I played with multiple versions of these guys. Now, while these guys are not GoPros, they're actually really good with their quality that they record. However, you need to buy like these special harnesses that attach to the side of a standard helmet, or what I was doing, I was ended up wearing a body harness where this would sit in the center of my chest. And to be brutally honest, it was kind of a pain. It almost took about, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to get the harness on, strap one of these things to you, and then hope the battery doesn't die, connect an external battery power source to keep them running for an hour duration minimum. It just didn't work out. So I'm not happy with that kind of configuration when all I want to do is just record my bike ride. Fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, I got an email from one of my bargain websites where they give you like coupon codes for Amazon and other retailers. And I happened to run into this guy here where the gray version of this particular helmet, normally this one here at the time of recording is about like $120. I was like, no, thank you. And this one with the coupon code knocked it down to $40, and that got me intrigued. Why? Because this has a built-in camera in here. So essentially, I'm like, why not? This will actually follow the tracking of my head, obviously, and if it actually pans out, hey, I'm all on board for, picking up this particular helmet for less than $50 and it can record video. I'm all in. So without further ado, let's get this guy unboxed. So now that we got everything unboxed, obviously we have the helmet. We have a magnetic screen here, which is kind of interesting. That's pretty cool. Clearly you can see the camera here, and it looks like it's got an LED light for activity. And also we have what appears to be microphone. So we'll also be testing this product for wind noise because I'm very curious to see what that looks like. Apparently they gave us a 64 gig memory card. I don't know if that's legitimate or not, but we'll find out. A charging cable. This here is a wireless remote. It allows you to do signal indication off of the back of the LEDs of the helmet, as well as some sort of light. I don't know if that just keeps the back of the helmet flashing. Apparently these are Velcro for something, not entirely sure. Something to help clean your visor, removable pads to keep your ears warm, and I do have to say I have a similar type of helmet that I ride with, and it's got your ears completely exposed, and when you're trying to ride your bike in 40-degree weather, it gets kind of cold. So this is going to be a welcome addition if it actually works to keep your eardrums and ears warm. And lastly, of course, the instruction manual. Okay, so I briefly looked at the manual, and yeah, this is last huge button here is basically for a strobe light that goes off in the rear. A closer lookup of this particular helmet, we have a button to record video. The second button here from the front will take a picture. The third button, believe it or not, you could tie this guy in with Bluetooth on your phone and take phone calls through here, so that's going to be an interesting addition. The last button here is what activates the function of this little remote control if you were to use that functionality. Now, I have to be brutally honest here, I could care less about the Bluetooth functionality. I'm very more interested on the video capture of this guy here. From here, what do I want to do? You know what? Let's hook up the SD card. Let's get it some power and see if we notice any sort of indication that this guy even actually works. I almost forgot. So I want to talk about the battery that's inside this guy. Actually, first off, the little remote has those standard CR2030 button batteries, if you would, that you pretty much find in everything these days. And according to the owner's manual here, you have a lithium-ion 1200 milliamp battery. Unfortunately, it does say it takes about 4 hours to fully charge. So yeah, that's a real bummer. However, it does say during the Bluetooth for continuous music playing 72 hours, the light can stay on for a continuous 12 hours, and the duration of the camera continuously recording is about 3 hours. Obviously, temperature is going to play a huge factor in this. If it's cold outside, you're not going to get 3 hours of recording. You probably will literally get half of that. Now that that's out of the way, let's get the SD card installed and let's get this guy charging. So hopefully this is enough light to show up on camera, but the card slot is right here at the front of the helmet, and that's where you plug it in. Okay, so how this works is this is the front of the helmet. The text should be facing up when you place it in, and it's got a little spring-loaded action. So when you insert the card, you kind of got to get your nail in there and then wait for a little click. Hopefully it gets picked up on camera. There it is. There's the click. Now we got the micro SD card securely placed in there. Next up is power, and right there is the little plug icon. Hopefully that shows up on the camera, and we're gonna flip that up. But there you go. That there is like one of those micro USB connectors. So let's get this charging. Apparently that light indicates when the battery in the helmet here is actually charging. Yeah, it is 2:35 now. Unfortunately, there's no gauge on this or blinking pattern to indicate, you know, is the battery 20, 50, 75% full. So I'm gonna imagine this thing is pretty empty right now. It's about 2:30 as of recording. I guess what I'll do is let this charge for at least 2 hours. Obviously, if this light here turns off, I'll know that the battery's fully charged, and then we'll go for a quick ride. Okay, so it's been a little bit over an hour. You should be able to still see that the battery in the helmet here is still charging. I saw online that this does have an internal clock. The unfortunate thing is you need to create a text file on the SD card here. So basically, you have to format it by year, month, date, and time. I'll put up those directions up on Southhawk Computing's forums there if you're interested on what the text file should look like, the formatting of it. But basically now I've already done all that. It's already been copied to the micro SD card. So basically to set the clock now, it's almost time. And yeah, actually it is. So they say to activate the camera. Interesting. I don't think it turns on with power. So let's see. Oh. Huh. That is the same noise that my dash cams make. When I turned it on, I don't know if you heard that noise, and we also have a blue light. Hopefully that is showing up on camera, signifying that it's on. So now if I press this, oh, I heard recording, and we actually have a blinking light. Interesting. I'm just gonna turn it off or hit the button one more time. It said it stopped. Oh, holding down the back button turns that on. It is the Windows noise when it turns it off. So how the heck do we shut this off? Pressing it once records. Okay, so this one here is obviously for Bluetooth to turn it on. Oh, okay. So that's the caveat here. To turn on the camera itself, regardless if you're going to be doing video or still photography, the second button here is the actual power button for this guy. This one only toggles recording, so that totally makes sense. That's it for now. We're going to let this guy continue to plug in and charge. And the interesting thing is the Amazon listing for this guy said that it was going to take only 3 hours, not 4 like the manual did. So that's pretty funny with the conflicting charge times here, but I'm gonna take out the little micro SD card here and see what kind of footage I saw just out of sheer curiosity, and I'm also curious to see how strong that microphone works as well. Still charging, and we will see you guys in another 2 hours hopefully. All right, so we're here approximately 4 hours later. As you can see, it kind of gives like a yellowish color, probably because this whole back plate is red, but that is a green color, meaning that it's fully charged. It's about 6:30 now, and honestly don't feel like going for a bike ride. However, I'll do it first thing tomorrow, and we'll see how this thing performs. Okay, it's the following day. Clearly, this thing is definitely charged up. If we saw it previously, it was a green light. I'm also bringing up my backup recorder because, spoiler alert, the audio that this guy records is not good at all. I believe it was 8,000 hertz, and that's essentially an old school telephone audio quality. But at the end of the day, I don't care about the recording audio here. I'm more concerned about the, field of view, what this camera looks like. And as I stated before, this is very similar to what I have in the cheap Chinese dash cams. So, I mean, those are pretty good on encompassing everything in front of you. So hopefully you'll see the handlebars, for example. You won't see my speed, unfortunately, because I haven't had a chance to take the hub motor apart to see what's going on with the sensor in that regard, but it is what it is, so let's get to it. So right now what you're hearing is the self recorder for the better audio quality. But now editor Dan which is future Dan. Let's switch over to the camera. And see what we get for this audio. So I'm gonna say something silly as I drive by these people who think I'm crazy and probably talking on the phone. This is on a low volume. We're also checking for wind noise, because that's gonna be a thing. And yeah, it's 80 degrees and it's September. Great, can't see it because my stupid blink notifications went off. Let's try that again. Oh my god, man, there's the garage door alerts. The hell was that? Like a hawk or something. September 18th and it's 80 degrees. That's freaking unheard of. So yeah, this is a test of the audio quality and me just going left to right. It is kind of a bumpy road, so we're looking for stability right now. I'm sure it's going to be just as good as when I had the chest harness for stabilization, because I know this camera is not going to have that at all. And let's see how it reacts with these different light situations. And then we'll cut this video short. However, I think I will set up a different video for my entire ride. This should only be about like a half an hour ride as I go to one of my friends' houses here. So, oh, and I'm sure you'll hear the difference when I back and forth to the microphone recorder versus the built-in microphone here on the helmet. So anywho, yeah, I'm actually kind of happy I got out today. Man, it is gorgeous. Just a perfect day just to freaking get away from it all, you know? Yep. Anyway. Okay, I think that's it for the sample. So first impressions right away, this helmet is thick. I wouldn't say it's as comfortable as my other helmet there, but it definitely feels, my noggin feels definitely protected, so that's always a plus. And yeah, I don't think this is uncomfortable at all. The one thing I will criticize it about is I'm not wearing that face shield that came with the helmet. I'm wearing sunglasses in conjunction with it, so it definitely touches on the back of the sunglasses where they touch your ears, in other words. It's noticeable but not annoying, let's put it that way. I could definitely live with that. I'm curious to see if anybody will call me. If not, I'll definitely call somebody at some point. But this is just me holding my head level. And again, we're checking for field of view here. I'm curious to see how much of my spatial reality I'm getting here, especially in front of this angle here. Like if I could actually see the handles right now in this recording after reviewing, I'll be quite pleased with this. Again, for $44, and that's with tax and free shipping, this was a total steal. But all right, so final wrap up. So we figured out what these guys are for, and they're just replacement pads. If I don't drop it, replacement pads for the inside liner if it ever comes apart, I guess, or it's no longer, yeah, basically if it's no longer grabbing anymore, you could replace them with these guys here. So overall, not too bad with the lens itself. Unfortunately, it doesn't catch the handlebar or the speed of the bike unless I'm looking exactly down at it. Not a big deal. As we just saw, the audio does pick up wind noise about a little bit faster than 15 miles per hour. And obviously, it also depends on what kind of wind you're experiencing that day. But audio quality is low. We really don't care about it that much, or I don't anyway. And I'm just looking for the video quality, which is not bad. I did notice that I was moving my head around, so that probably could get some people nauseous if you're watching it on its entirety in the next video that I post. So sorry about that. Pretty much, this is exactly what I was looking for. Basically, something way easier than these guys. So yes, I absolutely love this thing. The phone quality wasn't that bad. People were able to hear me and it was nice and loud. The speakers were closer to my ear on either side. I did notice though, however, when the camera was recording, that speaker is somewhere up here and it's not as easily heard, but really doesn't matter. You just need to hear if it's on and if it's recording or if it stopped recording. So no big deal. $44, $50, maybe even $60, that price point. Absolutely, I would grab this within a heartbeat. As always, if you like what you see here, hey, please give that good old like button a smash, subscribe to the channel, join our forums. It would be greatly appreciated. As always, this is Dan from Southpaw Computing, and until the next time.